robbed right now. Okay, for the rest of the hour, maybe a little bit into the next hour, we're very honored to have Webster Griffin Tarpley, who is a doctorate in history. He also is degreed economist and the author of the unauthorized biography of George Herbert Walker Bush, 2 unauthorized biographies of Barack Obama. Well, one's an unauthorized biography, another's an analysis. And he joins us now to talk about what happened in 2009, what's coming up in 2010, but also the underwear bomber and the FBI now being caught lying, saying they didn't detain anybody else, they didn't find a bomb, saying no one brought this guy onto the plane. Now that's been confirmed that someone did, but they won't say who. They won't release the video tapes from Amsterdam. How we saw the preconditioning the last month that Yemen had to be hit. Now this happens. Oh, it came out of Yemen. We got to hit Yemen. The whole geopolitical strategy, what this signals. We knew that Obama would start launching false flags. I had predicted aircraft bombings, attempted bombings, flu hype in January. I was proven right because I saw the preconditioning. But Tarpley is, again, a real expert on this, so we'll get his predictions and his view on what's happening. And then a little bit into the next hour, I want to get his take on, the health care. Even the liberals are waking up. This is a giant ripoff to the insurance companies. Higher taxes, less benefits. Webster Tarpley, it's good to have you here as we close out 2009.
Thank you very much, Alex. Happy New Year to you and to all the listeners.
What did you think of that police officer calling in talking about a intelligence nest?
Yeah, I guess I think that's Converse Info Systems. Isn't that one of them?
Yes.
Anyway, I think we've written that up in the 9/11 that they were able to monitor most U.S. telephone conversations.
And now we learn a month ago that all of the text messages, phone messages, everything was just recorded from 9/11, and now they're releasing it. The government and its private subsidiaries are just recording everything. We're so free, Webster.
Well, that's of course the National Security Agency. But maybe just to take a look now at the world strategic picture, because I think we have, a very ominous pattern. I look for 2010 to be a very tempestuous time, and we're going to have...
But, let's start with the kickoff, the underwear bomber, and then let's take your time. Go into all of it.
All right, well, I think it's obvious, I'm sure obvious to you, this is a controlled Patsy, and we have this same pattern that we've seen again and again. We have these individuals that have very limited mental equipment, but nevertheless, they're able to work miracles. In other words, they can do things that a normal person would never be able to do. You'd be arrested, you'd be questioned, you'd be searched, you'd be stopped in some way, rounded up. But no, in this case, we have Omar Farouk Mutalab, the son of this rich, elitist oligarch banker from Nigeria, and he can do all these amazing things. His own father goes to the U.S. Embassy in Lagos, Nigeria, denounces him as a possible terrorist, somebody who was probably at a camp of some kind in Yemen. And this is shared by the State Department and the CIA right off the bat, and that seems to be sometime in about mid-November. And nevertheless, that's not enough to have his visa taken away. He's got a U.S. multiple entry visa, which he's allowed to keep. And, of course, you can have a stamp in the passport, but if they change it in the computer, then when you try to...
And he's traveling all over Italy, all over Africa. He's in countries illegally. He gets out of countries. He's disheveled. Looks like he's drugged, stumbling around. This is classic. Right.
So he's able then to basically have no effect. He doesn't get on any serious list for scrutiny or special search. And he's then able to buy a ticket, a one-way ticket from Nigeria to Detroit. And he buys it, somebody buys it in Ghana, $2,800 in cash, one way in cash. That would normally get you searched or something quite serious right there. He then re-enters Nigeria illegally. That doesn't seem to have any effect. And then we have this famous story of the well-dressed Indian who accompanies him. And to me, this suggests that he is a mental deficient. He's in the same class with Richard Reed. He's mentally retarded in some way. And you could, of course, he could get a degree at University College London with the help of MI5, or maybe his father made a large contribution to University College London. That stuff happens all the time. So he's able then to get into the he gets from one plane to another thanks to this Patsy minder, a Patsy chaperone or Patsy monitor, the rich, well-dressed Indian who makes an odd couple with him, and that guy delivers him to the gate and says that he doesn't have a passport. And I'd be interested to see, is there a passport? Won't the FBI please show us a passport if there is one? And then we find
the FBI's been caught lying, saying that there was no one videotaping on the plane. No one else was pulled off at customs in Detroit. Now they've had to go back and admit they were lying. They won't release the videos from the European airport, from Amsterdam. I mean, this is suspicious.
Oh, yes. I think it's beyond suspicious. It's a clear case of a patsy. So he's a controlled asset. And, of course, it's not a matter of failure to connect the dots. We're hearing all about the unconnected dots. No, this is the desired outcome. We're dealing with the rogue network. We're dealing with the same people that brought you, again, the Gulf of Tonkin incident, the Kennedy assassination, Iran-Contra, 9/11. Nobody's ever laid a glove on them.
And the rogue network can't help themselves. We're going to break. We're going to come back and cover it. They can't help themselves as they pre-position troops in Yemen the last 2 months, as they begin the hype a week ago that it's got to be hit, and then right on time the Patsy bombing comes, and then right on time they hype it like it's the end of the world throughout the weekend. I mean, so when we come back, finish up with the rogue network and what this signifies, the new operations they're launching. Dr. Webster Tarpley is our guest.